Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm back with another video in the pre-MBA series where we are going to discuss a very tactical thing, that is how to write your own post-MBA goals essay. And because I love frameworks, so I'm going to give you today a framework which would help you get started on your MBA application and specifically write this essay. And I'm also going to suggest some tools which I think are really helpful for someone who's just getting started. So, without further ado, let's get started. And before we really dive into the framework, I want you to understand that why do even schools ask this question? So, really, these are threefold reasons, right? The very first thing that admission committee might want to know is that you have seriously thought about your career, as in you have not watched a movie last night and you suddenly just got passionate about it, and the next day you chose to put that on the paper for your MBA application, right? Yeah, I know all of us get inspired by the movies, and it's not a bad thing. All they want to know is that you have taken enough time and you know where you want to go in the long term. Secondly, they want to know that you have done enough research to understand what it really takes for you to achieve or that goal that you have set for yourself. Maybe you've talked to people, maybe you've read articles, anything. They are interested in that you're someone who has done the research and is careful about their life plans, right? And lastly, which is the most important part, is that they want to make sure that if they are going to take your money and your time to do an MBA with them, they are giving you the resources that would help you develop the skill set that you need to achieve that career that you strive to achieve, right? So that's really the purpose of the essay for of post MBA goals, or essentially other essays that school is asking you to write. Now that you know, okay, what schools are thinking, now let's understand the framework, right? So essentially it's just a four-step process, right? The very first thing I want you to think about and write on paper is that what's your long-term goal. Essentially, what do you want to do after 6 to 7 years or 10 years of your MBA, right? What's your long term vision? And please don't say that I want to be a good person. Everyone wants to be, or I hoped that everyone does. What they really want to know is that you have given it a thought and you have enough of a vision to understand where do you want to take your life professionally or work wise. Just write it out simply on a paper. Of course, I assume that you must have done research about it or you have given it a thought. Once you know what your long term career goal is, think about what are the skills that you need to achieve that career goal. Let's pick an example. Let's say in the long term, very random, you want to launch a social non-profit organization that works for animal welfare, right? Totally fair. That's what you're passionate about. Now what could be the skills that you would need for that? hmm. It could be you need to raise funds for your non-profit organization, so you definitely need fundraising skills. Second, you need to influence others so that you can get them on board, right? And they can help you in carrying out your mission. So you definitely need influencing skills. Just like that, I want you to think about that what are the skills needed for a career that you want to have in the long term, and just write it down on the paper. Write down the list in form of lines, and anything that comes to your mind that is relevant, just write it on a paper. And then I want you to think about what is it that you can do in short term that would enable you to achieve that long term career that you aspire to have. And seriously, that's exactly what schools want to see as well, that you are a person with a plan. You are someone who taking ownership of their career and is thinking that, okay, this is how I want to conduct or move professionally through my life so that I can get what I want. Which is why they long you think about short term career goal after you think about your long term career goal, because it's just a means to achieve what you want to do later, right? So, continuing with our animal welfare example, it could be that you want to work with another non-profit organization, and you might be wanting to work in the marketing function because you believe that you need to attain those influencing skills and number marketing function, you have chance to practice them more often with that non-profit organization, right? And lastly, think about what is the experience that you have that would help you in the long term and short term career goal that you are planning for yourself. It could be that you are working in finance department at your current company, and you have some knowledge about how to manage funds and how to manage revenue sources or manage money in general. That is going to help you with both with your short term and long term goal later. So that's exactly the process you follow. Once you have all this figured out, you just put them all together, and that's how you're going to write your essay. Just to give you another example, let's pick something random, right? Let's say in long term you want to launch a travel platform for the lesser known countries. Fair, right? So think about what are the skills needed for that. You need management skills to manage your team. You need local network in such countries. You need analytical skill set, because when you're doing business you need to understand the patterns. You also want to analyze where the business is coming from, which kind of customer segment that you want to hit and what not, right? So you need such skill set as well. Then think about what can help you in short term, right? It could be working with one such company. For example, if you're in India, you might want to work with Make My Trip as a product manager, because that will help you attain those management skills and analytical skills that you need in working in a similar environment that you hope to create, right? Lastly, think about the experience. You might be a lead engineer at your current company. So think about it. If you want to achieve a launch a travel platform, then your technical skills might help you launch that website that you would need for your travel platform, right? So this is the way you create a just rough list of all that is needed in the framework, right? Now it's essentially a matter of putting them all together in long lines and just creating an essay using the bridge lines. Here's an example, right? So seems easy. But I know my many of you might be thinking that, coach, it's seems easy, but the whole problem is that we don't know how to think about it, how to think about the skills, how to think about what do we want to do long term, or what are the skills needed. Don't worry, I got you covered. But before that, I just want to add some of the other things that you might want to consider while writing the post MBA essay. It totally depends upon the length of essay. Some schools have a 150 word limit and some might have the longer word limit. So other things that you might want to add is that what is the reason that you have chosen that long term goal, right? For an example, for your travel platform, maybe you are someone who lives in one such country and you have seen how your family has benefited from the tourism that the country attracts, which is why you got passionate about travel, promoting the travel, right? You could also add achievements from your current career, or how the school would help you to achieve the career goals that you have laid out. It could be covered in other essay also, again, as I said, depending upon the length of the essay. Or just extracurricular activities, just to show them that you have taken significant steps to just understand how it would be to have such career already. So now the last part is that how do we even start writing or just start brainstorming about such ideas that are needed in the framework. Let's talk about the brainstorming first. So seriously guys, you can start with very simple processes, and I assure you, if you do them diligently, the whole process is going to be very easy. For the brainstorming, start within your company, right? I'm sure all of you have examples at your workplace place of the people who are doing something similar, at least functionally. Let's say, picking up continuing with our travel platform example, you want to become a PM, product manager, right? So I'm sure the companies you are working with, most of them would have some flavor of product management. There someone must be handling that. Start following their experience, start observing what are the skill sets do they use, right? check their LinkedIn profile, maybe set up a chat with them and ask them about that, hey, I am interested in this career. What do you think is needed for me to do that? Right. And second, yes, going to be to seem a little bit silly, but trust me guys, chat gpt has lot of power if you use it in a right way. You could use it to understand what are the skills required for a product management. Simply just ask it that question. Put in your long term goal in the chat gpt and just ask it like, what do I need to do to achieve that? And it would automatically give you a list of actions or skills that you would need. Just start filtering out from there, what do you already have and what do you not have. That would automatically give you the list and inputs to your framework that we discussed. Now that you know how to brainstorm, right, let's talk about how to write a good essay. You know, how to write those big lines, how to write those bridge lines, and how to just get started. Because I understand many of us, we don't have it coming to us naturally, the skill of writing. So what I really recommend are simple, again, tactical steps. Just start with the basic version. Write the basic lines in a rough manner that you know, and then use the chat gpt to generate a full-fledged essay out of that. But yes, let me warn you, it's not that easy. The output chat gpt is going to generate for you, it's easily recognizable, right? And it's usually very complex. So what I want you to do is to just now use that version to refine it further, make the language simpler, or just make it more personal to you, right? And then again, after refining it, you can again use chat gpt or grammarly or many other tools. This video is again not sponsored, I'm just sharing my personal experience, but to improve your sentence structure and grammar, etc. And even then, it doesn't stop there. Leverage people around you who have written essays before. Ask them to review your essay. It's okay if you have to pay them, right? You've done half the job. So it's okay to just pay for the reviews and get the better quality of the essay that you need. Or if you know some people who are happy to help you otherwise, just reach out to them and ask them for the reviews. But having said that, the last tip I want to give you is try not to take more than 3 reviews from one person, specifically if they are not professional reviewers. Only thing that happens is that people get saturated after reading the same thing again and again, and they might not be able to generate much insights, right? Specifically when the time is crucial, if they have already reviewed your essays a lot before. In case of professional reviewers, it's a bit different. The reason, because they usually have a team and they can circulate the essay in that team so that they can give you the objectivity that you need since you have paid them, right? So yeah, that's it about today's video. I hope you really found this content helpful, and I really hope some of the you start taking that pen and paper and start writing your post MBA goals essay. Well, that's all for today. If you like this video, please choose to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, goodbye.